Yeah, we had prepared, through 2 years of film study on these guys for a certain defense, a certain coverage, a certain front, and throughout the entire first half, they came out and showed us something different. And I thought our staff and our players did a really good job of adjusting on the fly in the first half, and then come out in the second half and to get something a little bit different even than what we'd seen in the first half and what we had prepared for throughout the course of the week. It took us a little bit more time to adjust there in the third quarter than we would have liked, and led to a little bit of some stalling on some drives, but that was it. It was us as coaches trying to adjust not only from what we had already adjusted to in the first half, but then adjust again in the second half.
Kenny, far left.
Kenny Rhoda, ESPN Cleveland. Tom, after 3 games, what are you happy with overall on offense, and what's the thing that bothers you the most?
I'm happy with the effort that our guys play with. I think we give tremendous effort, especially up front. I think our guys up front play really, really hard, and the guys on the perimeter as well do too. But so the effort, very pleased with. I'm pleased with the growth of the wide receiver core. I don't think anybody would say we're where we need to be for where we're at the place that we're at and the level that we need to be at. But we're growing and we're continuing to get better. We've got to continue. I told people after the game, when we're good, we're pretty dang good. We just got to be good more often, and so we need to be more consistent as an offense, and so that's probably the biggest thing that we've got to figure out as a staff is how to put our kids in position to be more consistent and eliminate some of the mental mistakes that crop up that in any offense. It's really hard in college football to make a mistake at any point in the drive and then recover from that mistake. And so we need to do a better job of eliminating those mistakes that, okay, you miss a block, we get that, we can fix that. But when you go the wrong way or you go to the wrong guy, we've got to evaluate what positions we're putting our kids in and make sure that happens less frequently.
Far right, Austin. Austin Moore, ESPN.com. Tom, have you had much experience in the past with the jump pass or pop pass, and as a play caller, what about that design kind of strikes you?
Yeah, we did it a bunch at Rice with James Casey, the kid that's now with the Houston Texans. He was kind of our wildcat quarterback, and so we had done it actually quite a bit with him at some different formations. So when Coach recommended it this week, that was an easy sell for me.
What about that design kind of makes it so effective?
Well, I think anytime your quarterback is a run threat on the goal line and by design, you've added yourself an extra blocker by having your quarterback become a run threat, then everybody gets so clued into the guy that scored, I don't know how many touchdowns Braxton scored already in 3 games, that at some point, it's a feast or famine deal. If you're going to stop the quarterback, you're probably going to turn somebody loose too.
Front middle, Doug.
Doug Lamore's a big time dealer. Herman talks a lot about the idea of needing to take a shot downfield right now. But just what's the process as a play caller of sort of trying to figure out when the right time is? Is it just like a gut thing? Are you constantly? I'm kind of thinking it's now, no, now, yes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of playing the game throughout the course of the week in your mind and through film study and in practice that the situations, nothing's ever really, you'd like to say that there's more science to it than just, okay, hey, I'm feeling it right now, and so, which there is throughout film study, and then, when they are susceptible to it based on down and distance and field position and all that, and then the risk-reward factor, I think field position is big too on if you don't get it, because those are normally a little bit lower percentage throws than some of your other things, that you have to be prepared then at that point to then maybe be behind the chains and make that up and still continue to drive, where if you miss it, it can't deflate the drive.
How do you see defenses, do they look worried about Braxton as a runner right now? How does that reflect itself during a game? Can you see them being concerned about this guy's going to break the play on us? And then what does that do in terms of then maybe what you can do throwing the ball if they are really worried about what Braxton can do with his feet?
I've seen defenses in the last 3 weeks that I've never even dreamt of in my mind to try to stop a QB from running the football. So yeah, the answer is yes. I mean, it's an interesting quandary to be in when you have such a dynamic runner back there that defensive coverages tend to be completely skewed opposed to what you grew up knowing. Okay, hey, this is what cover 3 is supposed to look like. This is what quarters coverage is supposed to look like. This is what halves coverage is supposed to look like. Where teams now are trying to get 8 and 9 guys in the box to be sound against him pulling the ball and running. So the variety of coverages that we see on first and second down is absolutely mind-boggling.
Right front, Tim?
Yeah, Tom, as an offensive coordinator but also quarterback coach, do you try to, like, as the year progresses, see things through Braxton's eyes, or is it always through your, you know what I mean, what's he seeing type thing as you go through development? And number 2, where has Braxton made the biggest jump, you think, in 3 games, and what does he still really need to work on?
Yeah, I think you always, as a play caller and a quarterback's coach, you want to be able to understand the decisions and the things that young man sees at 19 years old in the span of 2.1 seconds, and the decisions that have to be made within those 2.1 seconds is off the charts complex. And none of us in here really have played it at the level Braxton Miller has, and so to be able to say that I can truly see it from his vantage point, no, I never will be. But I think as you go throughout the week, you say what can he handle and what can't he handle, regardless of who it is playing there, whether it's Peyton Manning or Braxton Miller. You've got to decide what's too much to put on his plate and what kind of decisions can he make. And then in terms of progress, I think he's seen the field better. I think he communicates with me on the sideline better than maybe I had expected. Maybe not in the, there was one point in the game where he said, Coach, there were too many guys out there. Okay, so that's progress. So at least he saw the fact that there were too many guys out there. Now let's communicate, who was it? Who'd you see? How did you see it? What unfolded? All that stuff. So that part's still a work in progress, and still the progressions on when he sees what he sees and triggering those synapses to react to that. But he's seeing the field probably better than he has.
Real quick follow-up. The late throw he threw to Corey Philly down the field.
Right.
He was late. Was that something that he should have seen earlier? It looked like he was looking at another side of the field. That was where the play was going yet.
He was, based on the coverage, the initial coverage at the snap of the ball, he actually played the correct side of the field, and then they did a decent job covering it, and all of a sudden, I think he saw Philly kind of just streak through the corner of his eyes, and oh my gosh, there it is, and got a little excited and didn't set his feet correctly and all that stuff to make that throw. But he did know that was based on the coverage. He did exactly what we teach him to in terms of playing the side of the field that he played to start the play, and then when he got to Philly, it was a little too much excitement.
Is he like a sponge though now when you present things to him? Is he like soaking it up?
Oh, he's great. He's great. Yeah, I mean he's enjoying, and I certainly don't want to speak for him, but the vibe I get from him and the talks that we've had is that he's enjoying himself a lot in this offense. He understands the areas that he still needs to improve on. So he's certainly not satisfied, and he sees the same issues that we see as coaches, and does a good job accepting criticism. And we try to tell him all that, criticism's, that's not a negative word. All that is I'm pointing out to you the things that we need to improve on, and if you want to be the player that we say you want to be, then let's go out and improve it, and he's embraced that.
Matt, far left.
Matt McCoy, WTVN. Kind of building off of Tim there. Braxton as a passer, how far has he come, and when he has inaccuracies, you were talking about technique, does he lose his footwork. Sometimes it almost looks like he throws better on the run.
Right.
Just what do you see in him, and how far is he coming? Where does he go?
Well, he's come a long ways. You know, I don't think there's never, not I don't think, I know, there's never been an issue with his upper body mechanics. The ball comes out very smoothly. He's got a quick release, and he's got a strong arm. It's, you know, tying that into his feet and making sure that his hips and his feet are aligned properly to the throw on time when that throw needs to be made. And so when you're out there on the run, it's kind of it's a lot easier to make that throw than it is trying to fit a dig into a window in zone coverage where your feet have to be perfectly aligned to that throw, which he's got plenty of arm talent to do that in terms of his release and arm strength. It's just really settling those feet down, and he's done a great job in practice. It just needs to translate more on Saturdays when there's 107,000 people in the stands.
Coach, thank you very much. Coach Herman will spend about 5